For all but the Miami Dolphins and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a quarter of the NFL season is in the books. Lots of surprises this year, more than in most, it seems. Here with a look at the league's best performers heading into the fifth weekend of play. Offensive MVP 1. Kareem Hunt, RB, Chiefs 2. Alex Smith, QB, Chiefs 3. Tom Brady, QB, Patriots. The only way Hunt isn't MVP of the first month is if Smith is. Each of these Chiefs backfield standouts is shining brighter because of the play of the other. Hunt has been the league's most dazzling offensive performer, and he's a rookie who was passed over until day 3 of the draft, a humbling reminder that none of us knows anything. The running back has been so prolific he has rushed for more second-half yards 372 than any other back in the league has in 4 quarters. Crazy. Hunt leads the league in rush yards 502, scrimmage yards 659 and most gains of 20-plus yards 5, and ranks second in yards per carry 7.4 and overall touchdowns 7. Reid delegates much of the credit for Hunt's meteoric start to Chiefs running backs coach Eric Bieniema. Bieniema does a phenomenal job with him, Reid said. He's been there as a player, understands the challenges of that position. Hunt is young in this, not only in age and inexperience, but he's young in the season. The challenges are going to be answering the bell every week, physically and mentally. To have somebody like Eric is an important part of this. So I think with that and the fact Hunt is a pretty humble kid, he'll be fine. Smith, at age 33, has never looked better in 13 years in the NFL. He leads the league in completion percentage 76.0 and passer rating 124.2 and is tied for fewest interceptions 0. And in KC's creative offense he's finding and hitting receivers open all over the field. The 40-year-old Brady is Bradying about as well as he has in any of his 17 years of starting. Before Thursday night in Tampa Bay he hadn't thrown an interception. He leads the league with 11 TD passes and 340 pass yards per game. Defensive MVP 1. DeMarcus Lawrence, the Cowboys 2. Khalil Mack, the Raiders 3. Von Miller, OLB, Broncos. Lawrence has been a menace to quarterbacks. Just look at these supporting stats. He leads the league with a whopping 7.5 sacks already, 2 more than any other player, has 11 QB hits and has forced 2 fumbles. Mack and Miller are monsters again, disrupting plays left and right. Each has 4 sacks. Mack has more tackles, so he gets the edge. Offensive Rookie 1. Kareem Hunt, RB, Chiefs 2. Deshaun Watson, QB, Texans 3. Tariq Cohen, RB, Bears. If Hunt is MVP, he's got a lead in this category, too. You know who had him ranked among preseason contenders for this award, right? Nobody. And now right, everybody. Watson has improved by the week since getting his first playing time in Week 1, and his first start in Week 2. He's tied for 6th in TD passes with 7, and over the past 2 weeks, in a narrow loss at New England and a blowout win against Tennessee, he's 47 of 67, 70% for 584 yards and 6 scores. Wow. Vikings running back Dalvin Cook would be here if he could keep playing, but he tore an ACL last week and is done for the season. Too bad. Had a great start in his own right. Cohen grabs the 3rd spot. The backup Chicago Bears running back is an electric performer. He ranks 24th in rushing 181 yards, averaging 6 per carry, and is tied for 8th in receptions with 24 for 150 yards and 1 touchdown. He and second-year Jordan Howard suddenly form the best RB tandem in the league. Defensive Rookie 1. Malik Hooker, S. Colts 2. Tre'Davious White, CB, Bills 3. Carl Lawson, Pound, Bengals. One of the most promising safety prospects to enter the NFL in years, Hooker already has 3 interceptions in his first 4 games, tied for the league lead. And he didn't practice it down with the Colts throughout the spring as he recovered from a college injury. White has been far from perfect, but he seems to have a necessary attribute of a long-career NFL corner. He doesn't let getting beat occasionally bring down his play. He's tied for the league lead with 8 pass breakups. Lawson leads all rookies with 2.5 sacks. Head Coach 1. Andy Reid, Chiefs 2. Sean McVay, Rams 3. Vance Joseph, Broncos. Tough competition here. Buffalo's Sean McDermott and Philadelphia's Doug Peterson were tough to leave off this list. But Red continues to prove he's the best coach in the NFL, not named Belichick. To cut Jamal Charles and place so much faith in Hunt, a rookie running back, a head coach has to know what he's doing, be trust in his front offices, his coaches and his own player evaluations, and then be bold enough to follow through and construct offensive game plans around the kid, even after Hunt fumbled on his first career touch. The NFL's only undefeated team is undefeated for a reason. At age 31, McVay has taken a Los Angeles Rams team Jeff Fisher coached into the ground, yanked it out, cleaned off all the dirt and has it soaring at 31. McVay is getting out of second-year QB Jared Goff what Fisher and his coaches nearly wrecked. That McVay's offense is the bigger reason than the talent-soaked defense for LA winning 3 of 4 says so much about the job McVay is doing as head man. Joseph gets the edge over McDermott and Peterson because he has Broncos defenders playing again at an incredibly high, stingy, fearsome level, like 2 years ago. Denver leads the league in total defense and rush defense. And Joseph's hiring of Mike McCoy as offensive coordinator was a brilliant stroke, as McCoy not only has QB Trevor Siemian playing better most of the time, but has resurrected the running game, which ranks tied for 3rd in the league. The Broncos will battle the Chiefs for the AFC West lead into the holidays. Comeback player 1. Julius Peppers, the Panthers 2. Earl Thomas, FS, Seahawks 3. Justin Houston, OLB, Chiefs in his 16th NFL season, the 37-year-old Peppers has turned back the clock. He has 4.5 sacks in his return to Carolina, where he began his pro career from 200,209 before stops in Chicago 201,013 and Green Bay 201,416. Thomas is coming back from a broken leg, and has resumed his role as probably the NFL's best deep free safety, even if he hasn't the jaw-dropping numbers to support that contention. Houston has left his knee problems behind and already has 4 sacks and 8 QB hits. Overperforming, underperforming ETLT most likely to get hot, that's not Oakland Raiders 22 Derek Carr only missed the last quarter or so of the first 4 games. So how on earth can the Raiders rank only 28th in total offense? It's one of the NFL's most alarming stats at the quarter mark. Carr and co. were supposed to dominate, remember, what with another year under their belts, with a Green Bay's former playmaking tight end Jared Cook now on board to make an already great passing attack even better, and with Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch making everything better by pounding out needed yardage on the ground. It hasn't worked out that way. Lynch is averaging only 3.4 yards per carry and only 38 yards per game. Whenever Carr is able to return from his fractured backbone, it's likely the Raiders get it figured out. Team most likely to fall down to earth, Buffalo Bills 31. That defense has been outstanding. And Shady McCoy is lethal with the ball in open space. But Tyrod Taylor, as he proved again in Buffalo's lone loss at Carolina, is not a QB who can pass you to victory if you're trailing late. He just can't. A lot of bounces went Buffalo's way to eke out a win at Atlanta. Those bounces tend to even out. Still, it's been an impressive start all the way around for new head coach Sean McDermott and his Bills. He insisted the team wasn't tanking. Now everyone believes, not just his players, but games against clubs with strong offenses are coming up: Oakland, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, New England twice. A stout defense, a pass game reliant on a good run game, and fortuitous bounces can take the Bills, or any team, only so far. A .500 record would be an impressive start for the McDermott regime. Most perplexing team: Pittsburgh Steelers 31. They struggled to win at Cleveland in the opener, beat a Minnesota Vikings team that lost its QB Sam Bradford late that week, lost at a bad Chicago team, and handily beat a Ravens team that has forgotten how to advance the football. The Steelers' defense has been magnificent, ranking 2nd in the NFL in total defense and pass defense. So given all that, why, with all that offensive skill position talent behind a stellar line, are the Steelers struggling most of the time on offense? That Pittsburgh ranks 21st in total offense, 21st in rush offense, and 16th in pass offense reflects the underachievement. Many are pointing to QB Ben Roethlisberger as the only culprit. His numbers aren't bad: 62% completions, a 6-to-2 touchdown-to-interception ratio, and a 90.7 passer rating. It's just he's not his usual prolific self. Big Ben has but one 300-yard passing performance in Pittsburgh's last 13 regular season games, dating back to mid-November of last season. Maybe this really is his swan song season. Most disappointing team: New York Giants 04. As terrible as the Giants' offense has been under supposed offensive mastermind Ben McAdoo, who succeeded Tom Coughlin last year as head coach, one of the NFL's best defenses last year is languishing. It ranks 25th in total defense and 28th against the run, after finishing 10th and 3rd, respectively, in 2016. If the Giants lose at home Sunday to the similarly winless Los Angeles Chargers, McAdoo is in deep trouble. 5 big questions. 1. Who wins the O&4 Bowl? Both the visiting Los Angeles Chargers and New York Giants are off to 0-4 starts. Few could care less in LA, whereas millions are livid in the Big Apple. 2. Packers or Cowboys? These storied NFC teams have at it again in Texas. The Rams thrashed the Cowboys' defense last week. How can it stop Aaron Rodgers and co? Could be a shootout 3. Is Detroit that good? The Lions can improve to 41 and remain atop the NFC North with a home field win against 31 Carolina, whose offense came to life last week at New England. 4. Can the Texans be the first to knock off KC? The Chiefs don't look invincible. They looked awful in the first half against the Redskins. Interesting matchup against Houston's pressure D5. Changing of the guard in NFC West. If the Rams knock off the Seahawks, LA would improve to 41 and Seattle would drop to 23. Russell Wilson will be running for his life if Seattle can't run it. The big number 17 number of times Arizona QB Carson Palmer already has been sacked this season. That's on pace for a 68-sack season. Only 2 NFL QBs ever have been sacked more often: Houston's David Carr in 2002 76 times and Philadelphia's Randall Cunningham in 1986 72 times. The funkiest factoid: Mitchell Trubisky of the Chicago Bears is set to become only third rookie quarterback selected in the first round to make his pro debut on Monday Night Football. The only others are Chuck Long of the Detroit Lions on December 15, 1986 versus Chicago, and John Reeves of the Philadelphia Eagles on October 2, 1972 versus the New York Giants. Quote of the week: sit there, don't get hit, don't touch anybody, don't move. I feel like I executed that one. Jay Cutler, Dolphins QB, on instructions he was given by coaches when he lined up as a receiver on a Wildcat play in last Sunday's loss in London to New Orleans. Cutler just stood there without moving when direct snap recipient Jay Ajayi ran for a loss of 1 yard. KRYKS Week 5 pick still alive in your survivor pool? Lucky you. Was a tough first month. WASNT it. Well, I'm here to help. Last week I went 106 with my NFL picks, straight up, not against the spread. Decent, not great. Let's try to get there in Week 5. New England at Tampa Bay, Thursday. Quick pick Tampa Bay. I was wrong. Picked it Wednesday. Down to 23 on Thursday nights, and 2 of the wrong picks involved the Patriots. Buffalo 31 at Cincinnati 13, Sunday, 1 p.m. EDTC TV. Toronto Kitchener, Ontario via CBS. Quick pick Cincinnati. Buffalo last season scored 29 points per game at home, 19 on the road. So far this season, 23.5 per game at home, 13 on the road. Cincinnati will have trouble scoring. Buffalo will have more. NY Jets 22 at Cleveland 04, Sunday, 1 p.m. EDTC TV. Ottawa Atlantic via Fox. Quick pick Cleveland. The Jets are winless on the road, and decidedly so. Look, there's due, there's overdue, and there's Browns overdue. I swear, if the Browns don't win this one, I won't pick them again all season. Probably. Carolina 31 at Detroit 31, Sunday, 1 p.m. EDT Quick pick. Detroit records-wise, this is the marquee matchup of the weekend. The Lions' defense isn't as good as Denver's, but it's winning the team games as much as Matthew Stafford. Even Cam's not laughing. San Francisco 04 at Indianapolis 13, Sunday, 1 p.m. EDT Quick pick. Indianapolis. They're honoring Peyton Manning before this game, the QB most locals would take back in a heartbeat, even now. San Fran's offense is spotty, but the defense has been mostly solid. Indiana nail-biter. Tennessee 22 at Miami 12, Sunday, 1 p.m. EDT Quick pick. Miami dueling enigmas. The Titans' defense surely can't be as bad as that 5,714 loss in Houston. Nor can the Dolphins' offense be as bad as the 6 points scored over the last 2 games. Which crumbles? First, LA Chargers 04 at NY Giants 04, Sunday, 1 p.m. EDTC TV. Montreal via CBS. Quick pick NY Giants. The 0-4 bowl really hard to see. New York losing to fall to 05. Not hard at all to see LA losing another close one, after traveling cross-continent, in a game the Giants absolutely must win. Arizona 22 at Philadelphia 31, Sunday, 1 p.m. EDTC TV. Vancouver Alberta Saskatchewan via Fox. Quick pick Philadelphia. The Carson Bowl. Carson's Palmer and Wentz will be pressured, and will be sacked, and will be forced into throwing early. It's more likely that Wentz, with his mobility and escapability, has the better game. Jacksonville 22 at Pittsburgh 31, Sunday, 1 p.m. EDTC TV. Winnipeg TSN 3-5 via CBS. Quick pick Pittsburgh. The Steelers' defense is playing better than the offense by a considerable margin. What can turn that around? Todd. The Jaguars come to town. On paper, the game should be close. Probably won't be. Seattle 22 at LA Rams 31, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. EDTTSN 5 via CBS Crickpick Seattle. The Seahawks often would lose when playing at the Rams when the Rams sucked. So it must necessarily mean, now that the Rams possess a better record than the Seahawks, the outcome will flip too. Baltimore 22 at Oakland 22, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. EDT Crickpick Oakland 2 shriveling offensive attacks. Even though E.J. Manuel probably starts at QB in place of Derek Carr and his fractured vertebra, Oakland should shake off its two-game losing streak. Green Bay 31 at Dallas 22, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. EDT CTV everywhere but Atlantic Canada. CTV2 Atlantic via Fox. Crickpick Dallas early season rematch of January's thrilling NFC divisional playoff game, which the Packers pulled out at the end. Neither team might be as good as then, but it's an even matchup and should be close. Kansas City 40 at Houston 22, Sunday, 8:30 p.m. EDTTSN via NBC. Crickpick Kansas City matchup of the top two NFL rookies so far, KCRB Kareem Hunt and Houston QB Deshaun Watson. The Chiefs bring the NFL's only undefeated record into NRG Stadium. They ought to leave with it. Minnesota 22 at Chicago 13, Monday, 8:30 p.m. EDTTSN via ESPN. Crickpick Chicago. The Windy City will go gaga like at HASNT since the Cubbies won the World Series. In his first pro start, QB Mitchell Trubisky shines, helping him maybe the NFL's best RB tandem Howard and Cohen. Buys this week: Atlanta, Denver, New Orleans, Washington. Season record 3,924.619 through week 4. Jockrick at postmedia.com at giancrickblogs.canoe.com. Crickslants.